Greetings from Crestmont, the home of the Western Territorial headquarters of the Salvation Army, and thanks for making room on your agenda for the Commissioner's Conference Call, designed to keep you informed of important matters currently before Salvation Army leadership. And now, the Territorial Commander of the Salvation Army in the Western United States, Commissioner Willard S. Evans.
I am pleased that your chairperson has allowed me the privilege of meeting with you on this occasion. There are many recommendations that have come from the National Advisory Board and which have been approved by the Commissioners' Conference that I would like to discuss with you today. But before I commence, I would like to express to each of you my sincere appreciation for what you mean to our organization. We indeed have a wealth of friends, for we are rich in such resources. It is well stated that the strength of the Army is the Lord, but the muscle is given to us by our advisory board members to help us accomplish our purposes. But now, down to business. 1985 has been described as the year of disaster. Certainly it seems as if there was one catastrophe followed by another. Some were massive in scope, such as Mexico and Colombia. Others were of a more personal nature, involving only a few individuals. But regardless of the scope, whether it was overseas or whether it was ministering at an air disaster or taking care of the homeless or feeding the hungry, the Army was there and is there, meeting the need at the time of need. Mexico, in particular, was a great opportunity for service. Close to 1,000 volunteers spent almost 3 months in Mexico City, ministering to 8,400 people in a quickly organized temporary medical center. 7 medical teams from the western states provided the bulk of those volunteer services. With the help of people like you, we were the principal location for the delivery of pure water for over a month, as we worked in conjunction with the Diamond Water Company of Irvine, California. In the months since the earthquake, the Army has been feeding 5,000 to 6,000 meals a day. But with the recent cold spell in Mexico City, we have been serving up to 13,000 meals per day and an additional soup run during the night for those on the streets. The 2 cement block making machines purchased by the Northern California Division are in full production, and the first 70,000 blocks have now been delivered for the construction or repair of the first 25 homes. And so the work still goes on today. I can scarcely begin to tell you in these brief moments all that is transpiring in that magnificent country. I don't know whether we served any donuts, but we did serve a lot of tortillas. Certainly there's no question that Mexico and Colombia provided a dramatic testing experience for the Army to see what we could do to meet the need under international constraints. We were extremely pleased with the results, but we were overwhelmed with response from Mexico and Colombian governments, as well as the individuals that we were able to serve. Now, here's another matter that directly involves you. As was mentioned earlier, the Army ministers to people around the world, regardless of their circumstances, whether it be in the heart of Africa or in the plains of India, from the tension-filled streets of Soweto to the desperation of Calcutta, our services are worldwide. Again, pursuant to a recommendation by our National Advisory Board, I have been asked that each local advisory board establish a World Service Committee. The primary function will be to bring the Army's activities to the attention not only of the board, but of the local community. This will include some services such as our hospitals, our clinics, our homes for the elderly, our feeding for the poor, as well as our character building activities. Perhaps you could even establish that at this board meeting. Indeed, we will be glad to do all that we can to assist you in this project. Here is something else of interest to all advisory board members. This coming September 12th through 14th to be exact, the National Organization of Advisory Board Members will be meeting in Dallas. This will be the second such conference, and those that attended the one in St. Louis feel that it is the finest thing that the Army has done for its advisory board members. This next one will be held at the Hyatt Regency Hotel in Dallas at the new Reunion Center. We are expecting at least 300 advisory board members from the Western Territory, and we would like to have one represented from each advisory board. We are hoping that you will take the opportunity of being in attendance. And now, here is Mrs. Ruth Sharp, co-chairman of the conference and member of the Dallas Advisory Board, as she shares with you some of her own thoughts on this subject.
Hello, I'm Ruth Sharp, and I'm chairman of the Dallas County Advisory Board. You know, one of the most interesting and informative and fun times I've had in a long time was at our first National Advisory Organization Conference in St. Louis in 1983. I loved it so much I came right back here to Dallas and suggested to our board that we host the next one. Well, the next one is just around the corner, and sure enough, we're inviting all advisory board members to come here to Dallas for the second National Advisory Organization Conference, September the 12th to the 14th, 1986. We're going to meet at the beautiful Hyatt Regency Hotel, and what an event it will be. We're busy lining up special guests to join us, people like Dr. W.A. Criswell, the pastor of the largest Baptist church in the world, the First Baptist Church here in Dallas, and our own Dallas Advisory Board member, Roger Staubach, who was just recently elected to the Hall of Fame, as most of you know. And as our keynote speaker, guess who we have? Pearl Bailey is lined up and agreed to come, and I think she will be wonderful. On top of this, we have some really interesting workshops lined up and some Dallas-style entertainment and hospitality. We plan to take you 30 minutes out of Dallas to a ranch and have delicious barbecue and a mini rodeo and a little bit of everything. I sure hope you can join us because you'll love Dallas, and if you feel about the Salvation Army the way I do, this is one conference you just have to come to. The National Advisory Organizations Conference here in Dallas, September the 12th to the 14th, 1986. Pearl will be in Big D. Will you?
It sounds like an exciting time, doesn't it? Let me share with you a recent personal experience when I met with the Oregon State Advisory Board and told them about this national conference. State Advisory Board Chairman Mr. Harry Merlo listened with the rest of the members, and when I had finished, he told me I was in St. Louis, and certainly I will be in Dallas. In fact, I will take my personal jet, and some of the advisory board members from this area may be able to accompany me. Now, that's the kind of commitment that we like to have that really makes things happen. Perhaps there are some of you that could do something significant in like manner so that advisory board members in your area will be in attendance. I genuinely hope to see you there. Don't forget, Dallas, September 12 through 14. Details are now in the mail. Well, we've covered a lot of ground in this, our first conference call, and we do hope that it will be more than one-way communication. We would like to hear from you concerning the establishment of the World Services Committee or your participation at the meeting in Dallas. There may be other subjects that you would like to write us about, and we would be delighted to hear from you. And so it's been good to talk with you. And until our next conference call, or we have the privilege of meeting with you in your community, God bless you, and thank you for all that you are doing.